and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk about JScreen. I'm here with Karen Greenside.
Hi, thank you, Keisha.
Okay, what is JScreen? What kind of screening can we get through JScreen?
JScreen is actually an online platform where people can access different types of genetic testing. We're based out of Atlanta, but we're actually a national program. And the way that it works is people can get onto our website, register for 2 different types of genetic screening kits, collect their genetic testing sample at home, saliva sample, send it to the lab. And then our service provides genetic counseling via telehealth to explain results so people understand what they mean and next steps.
So this is for anyone. This is not just for, I know, I was thinking that I wanted to do this story for Men's Health Month, but anyone can be screened. Is that right?
It really is for any adult. And I'll tell you, there are 2 types of testing that we do. And I think what's really relevant now is hereditary cancer testing. So we know that about 10% of the time, cancer is caused by genetic factors. So a person can be born with a mutation in a cancer gene, like the BRCA gene, the BRCA gene, which puts them in their lifetime at risk for various types of cancer. And we have a test that screens for 11 different types of hereditary cancer, close to 50 genes. Another test that we do is for people planning to have babies. So this is a different type of test. So we know that a couple maybe could be at risk for having a child with sickle cell disease, with Tay-Sachs, with cystic fibrosis, hemophilia, muscular dystrophy. And we can do genetic testing prior to pregnancy on a couple to tell them whether they have an increased risk for having an affected child, which allows them then to plan ahead for a healthy family.
And how invasive is this? What type of, is this a blood test? Is this, a cheek swab? What exactly do they have to do?
Yeah, so when we launched this program back in 2013, we thought we need an easy way for people to do this from home. And so the testing is done on saliva samples. And you basically spit in a tube, package it up, and send it off to the lab. And that really makes it easy for us to for people to access testing across the U.S. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to get your blood drawn.
Okay, once someone does, visit JScreen, what's next if there are some things that are, brought to the forefront? Is there counseling? Are there referrals? Like what happens then?
Yeah, I would say that's absolutely the most important of our program is the genetic counseling component. So first of all, when someone registers and they give a little bit of information about their history, our genetic counselors are reviewing that information to make sure we're doing the appropriate test, that we know what's in the family. Then when the sample comes to the lab and results come back, we're strongly encouraging this telehealth genetic counseling to explain to the individual, what are the results? What do they mean? What are the next steps? How should you follow up with your doctor? What other kind of specialist might you want to see? And what resources are out there for support and just to help you navigate and plan ahead for your own health.
Oh my goodness, that's so important in terms of having someone there to kind of hold your hand for what's next, how to, determine what the test means, those type of things. In light of that, what's your website? How do we learn more?
To learn more, our website is jscreen.org, and you'll see there information about both of the types of testing that we do. There's a Q&A section to help answer your questions, and also there are email addresses if you have specific questions and want to communicate with somebody on our team via email or phone.
Oh, that's great. And I'm sorry, I don't think that I asked, is this only for adults? I mean, you mentioned things like sickle cell and things like that that may, present themselves in children. Is this JScreen only for adults?
It is for adults, and the reason is these are screening tests. So these are tests to tell an adult whether they may have a risk for cancer, or a couple who's planning to start or grow their family, whether they're risk to their future children. It's not diagnostic testing. This is more of a screening test.
This is fantastic information. We've had so much in the news lately with various, celebrities being diagnosed with cancer and diagnosed with other illnesses, that it's kind of at the forefront of people's minds. So it's a great opportunity for us to kind of step up and learn something about ourselves, about our families. Thanks so much, Karen, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Keisha. Yeah, and again, if people are interested in getting tested, learning more, our website's jscreen.org. Also, we're a nonprofit, and if people are interested in supporting us, that would be amazing.
Oh, fantastic. Can they support through the website as well?
They can. They can donate through the website.
Thanks, Karen. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Okay, thanks so much, Keisha. Have a good day.
You too. All right, guys, we can step up to the plate and, do our part by making donations and, things like that when we talk about JScreen. But please take the opportunity to go to the website and learn more. This might be the screen that you've been looking for. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back with more.